So, in 1896, Theodor Herzl proclaimed in his book, The Jewish State, he said, "There, in Palestine, we shall be a sector of the wall of Europe against Asia. We shall serve as the outpost of civilization against barbarism." 122 years later, let's look at that quote, let's think about that quote. An outpost of civilization against barbarism. It is completely the other way around. And of course, the issue that we are standing here about today, Tamimi, the child prisoners, that is by any means a yardstick to measure barbarism. And I think that as an educator and as a parent, the treatment of children, of course, on a personal level as well as on a political level, is especially close to my heart. Today, we hear the same sounds though. This quote has not really disappeared into the fog of history at all. Israel being the only democracy in the Middle East, as they themselves often claim. Natalie has already mentioned the amount of detainees. West Bank and Gaza are under military occupation, and the people living there are under military law. The international treaty, the UN treaty on the rights of the child is not applied in those territories at all. In fact, Israel has a different definition for what a child actually is. The UN says anyone below 18 is a child. Israel blatantly puts that down to 12 and has separate categories for Palestinian children, something which apartheid regimes usually do. And on the education front, it is a well-known tactic. And if you want to look at Israel and the occupied territories through the eyes of history, then this is a colonial occupation. And withholding education to Palestinian children, withholding freedom to Palestinian children is institutionalized in Israel. It's part of the structural treatment. This is what needs to happen to maintain the purity of the Jewish state. Israel has a particular relationship with what we call demography. The population control is really important. This is why Israel refuses to let the refugees return home, because that would threaten the Jewish character of Israel as a state. It is also why Israel, like other colonial powers in the 20th century, think about, for instance, the Congo under Belgian occupation. Think about other colonial examples like Algeria, like Vietnam, like Kenya, where the occupying force treats the indigenous population differently, and education is one of the most important ways to do that. If you educate the population you wish to subjugate, they will one day rise up. And of course, this is something which we have seen throughout the history of occupation in the occupied territories. In fact, if we look at the different ways in which Israel suppresses the young population of the occupied territories, it's not just by killing and detaining them. It is by instituting military law, by curfews, collective punishment, which doesn't differentiate on age, barriers, etc., etc. There's an example that I want to just briefly mention. A couple of years ago, a Palestinian woman, only 20 years old, became the youngest medical doctor in the world. Her name is Iqbal Assad. She was a refugee in Lebanon, and she signed up to medical college at the age of 14, becoming a doctor at the age of 20. Now, this is just an example to show the potential which can be unleashed if the restrictions on education for Palestinian youths are lifted, if they get the opportunity, like everyone else, to enjoy their education. And I was also reminded of a quote that I came across by Martin Luther King, who said about the struggle of Afro-Americans in the 1950s and 60s for equal rights. He said, "It is precisely because education is the road to equality and citizenship, that it has been made more elusive for African Americans than many other rights. And I can go on and on to talk about the merits of education and its liberating power, and that is precisely the reason that it has become so difficult for Palestinians to gain those rights. Finally, Nelson Mandela, another icon of liberation struggle, said education is the most powerful weapon that you can use to change the world, and that, of course, is very, very true. We have to oppose not just the institutionalized and structural destruction of the Palestinian soul, which starts, of course, in the hearts and the minds of the children and the young people. It's very important we stand here today. It's raining, there's a little bit of sunshine. We are in Jersey. The numbers, of course, is not what matters. What matters is the determination that we can show to oppose this situation, that we can educate ourselves about the situation, and that we can relate to the fate of the children. Very good to see some young people out here today as well, to show their solidarity. So, just to conclude, I come at this from an educational perspective, but there is many different approaches you can take. It is part of a systematic annihilation of the Palestinians, that their treatment of children is as it is, and it can only be solved if we approach the whole problem from all different types of angles. Stop the occupation, stop the colonial relationship that Israel has in the Middle East, and of course address the role our governments play in sustaining that situation to this very day.
Thank you, Bram. I just have a short message to read out today from our head's family.
That's empty.
Brothers and sisters in Jersey, our partners in the struggle for the humanity, please keep fighting. Continue your attention, your efforts. We need you to join all the activities that our comrades are doing. You are our messenger. I'd like to thank you for standing with us and for helping to draw attention to our head's case, my precious and courageous daughter. The occupation is reliant on being able to operate in the dark, and exposing it is one of our key tools in the struggle for liberation. It warms our hearts and strengthens us to know that we do not stand alone in our struggle for a free Palestine. Free Ahed and Nariman Tamimi. Free all Palestinian child prisoners and free all Palestinian prisoners. Thank you.
So I've just got a few more words now, just to conclude, before Tom has the last word with the song that he's written. The real fear of Israel is not a 16-year-old girl slapping a soldier, but that she symbolises a refusal to be subjugated quietly, a people who will not stop resisting until they are free. Because as a young feminist, she breaks the stereotype that Israel sells to the Palestinians. And as a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl wearing Western clothes, they realise that she can be any one of our daughters here in the Western world. And this is what terrifies Israel. We say no more. We implore our government to raise our concerns with the UK government and Israel, and we say that this is no way to treat a child. Thank you.
So this is a short song I wrote kind of about the words that we use and using the right words when we're talking about this. There was a lot of me, when I first read about what was happening in Palestine, shying away from using the right language and thinking about what was really happening. So yeah, this is about choosing the words carefully.